guys. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, and this is your reading lesson for today. Our goals for today say I can read my sight words, I can read simple sentences, and I can write about my experiment observations. Today, boys and girls, we are going to be doing a science experiment, and we are going to be writing about what we see in the beginning and what we see in the end. And I think it's going to be something that you will very much enjoy. It's pretty cool. I practiced a couple times today, and I think you're going to like it. So before we get to that, though, sight word review video number 4 is up today. Make sure you take a couple minutes and watch that. And again, another good idea is just to be practicing sight words every day or every couple days. And you can do that with the flashcards. You can try to make up your own game with the flashcards. You can use the Play-Doh, the sidewalk chalk, maybe just writing, rainbow writing, all kinds of ways. But try to make sure you are practicing sight words as often as you can. And then today what we're going to do is we're going to practice reading some sentences. So you have this worksheet in your packet. This was actually on the schedule for Monday, and I forgot. So I wanted to make sure that I got it on for today because I think this is a good practice for you guys, identifying or reading sight words and also reading short words that you can sound out. So words that we haven't learned yet, for instance, let's look at one of these. Let's see, this one right here. Actually, most of these words we should know. It's a little unfamiliar. That means we didn't learn it. We don't know it yet. So as you get to those words, what you would do is you would just make all the sounds in the word. So and then I would make these sounds. Fan is on. The fan is on. So what I would suggest working through this worksheet, it's a lot to do at one time. Definitely do not. You can choose to do the dice if you would like to try it that way. Or if you say, I'm going to read 5 sentences today, and you can just go through and you can pick 5 sentences to read to somebody, and then maybe just put a little check in the box so you know you did it, and then maybe tomorrow you can read 5 more, and then on Friday you can read 5 more until you get them all checked off. It's just kind of a fun way to practice, like I said, sight words, and then those short CVC words, which is what just unfamiliar and familiar words. There we'll go with that. Okay, so before we do our science experiment today, we're going to read a story that kind of it kind of goes along with our science experiment today, which you'll understand that once we get there. So our story that we're going to read today, and we're just listening for fun. Nothing we have to do with this story. We're just going to maybe hopefully learn a couple things. I don't know. Our story today is called The Perfect Color. And if we look at this picture here, we see this woman here. She's definitely sitting outside. Oh my goodness. And it looks like maybe she's sitting on the side of a mountain, maybe, or some kind of place where there's lots of different trees and looks like some branches, some different stuff. And it looks like what she's doing here, she's painting maybe what she sees. So she's got her paints and her canvas, and you can see her paintbrush there. And she's just working away. So let's see what we learn, or hopefully we learn something while we read this. Again, it's called The Perfect Color. Close your eyes and imagine a sunset. What colors do you see? You might see orange, yellow, and pink. You might also see a color that is hard to name. Is it purple? Is it blue? Or is it somewhere in between? This purplish bluish color is brand new. You have invented it. And if you wanted to see the sunset that you imagined, you might need to make this perfect color. Artists are creative people. They like to imagine common things in new ways. Painters make brand new colors to match a sunset, a leaf, or a lion's eye. Someday you might see a painting of a pink elephant instead of a gray one. This painter was having fun with color. How many colors are in the world? 2,400? Actually, the number of colors is endless. This is why anyone can invent a new color. To learn about how to make colors, let's talk about something called a color wheel. which you see right here on your screen. This is a color wheel. And hopefully, guys, you have heard about this in art. So maybe you have a little prior knowledge about the color wheel. A color wheel is a circle filled with shades of color. The most important colors are called primary colors, labeled P on the color wheel. So there we go. Anything with a P is a primary color. The three primary colors are yellow, blue, and red. You can make any color in the world by mixing the three primary colors plus black and white. For example, if you mix yellow and blue, you make green. If you mix yellow and red, you make orange. And if you mix blue and red, you make purple. Green, orange, and purple are secondary colors, labeled S on the color wheel. When you mix a primary color with a secondary color, you get a tertiary color, labeled T on the color wheel. Now, what if you want to make a color like red just a little bit brighter? You would mix in some white. And what if you wanted to create dark blue? You guessed it, you would mix in some black. Art stores sell thousands of colors of paint. Some of these colors look so similar that they are hard to tell apart. Many artists like to mix their own paints. They want to use the colors they see in their minds, not in the store. That's interesting. Oh, hold on, guys. I lost my place on the... There we go. Okay. Before artists begin to paint, many of them sort their colors. This helps them get organized so they can find colors easily. There are many different ways to sort colors. For example, all the shades of the color red might go in one group, such as orange red, brick red, cherry red, and sunset red. Another group might include all the blues, colors called midnight blue, sky blue, and ocean blue. Artists use lots of tools to mix new colors and then paint with them. Something called a palette is a flat surface that holds blobs of paint. An easel holds up the piece of paper or canvas that the painting goes on. So if you look at the picture here, the little girl here, in her hand, she has her palette, and you can see it's got lots of different colors. And then here is her easel, which is this piece of wood here, and it's holding up her canvas, which is the white part that she is painting on. A paint knife is a flat metal tool without a sharp blade. Artists use a paint knife for mixing and painting. Artists paint with brushes of many shapes and sizes. Sponges are great for blending paints. Painters like to get creative with their tools too. So in this picture, let's see, I just see the little girl. She just has the paintbrush. No sponges, but that is definitely something that would be fun to do at home. Maybe use a paintbrush and sponges to make some new colors. That'd be interesting. Now it's your turn. Do you remember that perfect sunset color that your imagination showed you? It's time to share your color with the world. The best way to make a perfect color is to experiment. Get your colors and tools together. Sort them and play. Painting is fun. First, try putting different amounts of color together. You might want to use more blue, less red, or just a little white or black. Here's a new question. How mixed up do you want the colors to be? If you stir them a lot, you will get one solid color. But if you mix them just a little, you will see swirly lines of color. When it is time to do the painting, play with your tools. Try using different sizes and shapes of brushes. If you have finger paints, smear the paint on with your fingers and hands. You could even try scraping some of the paint after it is already on the paper. At the end, you will get something that is one of a kind, a perfect color and creative work of art. All right, so in this picture here, you can see that is pretty much exactly what these boys and girls are doing. They are using all different colors, and it looks like a lot of them are blended, especially like in this little girl's picture. I can see that there's several colors. I see some yellow, some blue, some some of that purple and the pink. So if you have paints at home, maybe that would be something fun to try on a day when maybe you don't have much to do. You're looking for something fun. Try the paints and try to blend them together. Remember, they said you could use a little bit of yellow and then a lot of red and see what you get, or mix it with the white or the black and just see what you get. It's all very interesting because it's always going to be a little bit something different. It's going to be new to you. So that's always cool when you're trying to figure out new stuff, right? Okay, so on we go to our fun part of our lesson here. So you should have this worksheet in your packet. It says Magic Milk at the top. And real quick, let me explain the worksheet so that once we get started, you can start filling it out. So at the top here, the top half of the worksheet is what you're going to use to talk about what you see in the beginning of the experiment. So here you will draw what you see, and then if you want to pause the video, which I'll go through all that again as we're doing it, you can write what you see in the beginning, because our experiment is going to show us our experiment is going to look different in the beginning versus the end. So that's what we're looking at. We want to know, how do things change? Why are they different in the beginning and the end? So we want to use words to describe what we see. So the bottom half is, how did the milk look at the end? And again, you have a circle. You're going to draw what you see, and then you're going to write one sentence explaining what it is you see. I have sentence starters there for you in the beginning and at the end. So you don't have to worry about that. All you have to actually write is what you saw. Okay? All right. So I need to get this switched first of all. There we go. Sorry. Okay. So, all right. Hold on. I have my assistant Kaylin here. Wait, I don't have that on there yet. It's okay. All right. So, I have everything I need here. So, our experiment has to do with color, and what we're going to see is what we're going to be looking at is how the colors change. So I'm just using whole milk here. I'm going to pour just enough to cover the bottom, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to add some food coloring. And as I add the food coloring, this is really the beginning stage. So as I add the food coloring, this is what you're going to want to kind of talk about the beginning. So you can wait till I have 4 colors I'm going to add. You can wait until I get all 4 of those in there, and then we can write about and draw about what we see. So all I'm doing right now, I'm getting ready to get my sleeve in it, is dropping some color. This is just regular food coloring. And we're going to do all 4 colors. We open the lids to those. Try not to move the table. Please, sorry. I know it's kind of hard. And I'm just kind of dropping them on. Try to get them on top there so that they kind of float. And you can really stop. Get your elbows off the table. So each time we add a drop, you can kind of see it. And I'm just don't really have a pattern. There's no right way to do this. You just add it all in there, and then we're going to do step 2 here. All right, so I had a couple more reds. All right, so here we go, guys. This would be what you would write about now. So you're looking at this, and like, what do you see? How could you draw this? So in the beginning, and then you're going to write one sentence about what you see. And I'm going to go ahead, and you can pause the video to do that. Or if you want to watch the whole thing and then go back and talk about it, however you want to do it, it doesn't matter. Okay, but I'm going to keep going because they're all starting to bleed a little bit, or starting to spread out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Q-tip here. It's got some Dawn on it, some Dawn dish soap. And all I'm going to do, okay, so now this is what we're watching for. This is the experiment. What do you think is going to happen when I touch the Q-tip with the Dawn to the milk? Let's see. So each time I touch the Q-tip to, look at that, you guys. Isn't that so cool? So what is happening? What do you see? It's starting to get a little bit mixed up. So I'm going to do one more here in the middle. Well, I'll do one more because it's fun. I can't help I'm doing more here. Okay. So now this is the part where you'd write about, wasn't that neat? I could keep on going, but I don't get it mixed up. Because oh yeah, see, what happens if you mix all the colors together, boys and girls? You get black. See, it's starting to get a little black around here. But look, we can still see so many of the colors. I see each one of them actually. I see red, I see green, yellow, and blue. That's pretty awesome. You guys can totally do this at home too. So now moving on to the second part of the worksheet, you are going to draw, like this is the final product from the experiment. So now you're going to look at this, what you see on the screen here, and you're going to write a sentence about what do you see now? And then you're going to draw this. So things have definitely changed from the beginning to the end. So, but how did they change? What's different about it? So in the end, tell me about the colors. You're going to write one full sentence for each one. Remember, I have the sentence starters there for you, so you do not need to worry about writing the beginning of the sentence. You will just complete the sentence with whatever you want to write about as far as what you saw. All right, so let's see, going back to this. All right, boys and girls, so the worksheet should be here. So take a picture of your sentences and your worksheet. Have someone take a picture of that for me and just send it to me on Parent Square or email. And if you're interested in trying this at home and you maybe need a little bit more direction, if you'd like that, just let me know and I'll send it to you. It's super easy to do and super fun. The cool thing about this is that every time you do it, every single time, it will be completely different. So something super fun to do. I thought it was awesome, and I hope you guys liked it too. So looking forward to seeing your work, boys and girls. I will see you.
It looked kind of brown once you mixed it.
That's awesome.
You should have said it's always going to be different. When it's different, it's called abstract. It almost looks poopy. It's still going.